Affleck, you were the bomb in Phantoms, yo! Hey everyone, welcome to another Top 10 list, and welcome to my Top 10 favorite Ben Affleck movies. Yes, do you bleed? Yes, I love Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is such a great actor. Does he have a lot of stinkers? Oh god, does he ever. But I'm not here to talk about his bad movies. I'm here to talk about his great movies. I love Ben Affleck's movies. I think he's a great actor. And so I'd celebrate him as an actor by giving my Top 10 favorite Ben Affleck movies. Alright, let's get to it. Here's my Top 10 favorite Ben Affleck movies. And before Top 10 list, you gotta have your honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are The Company Men, Boiler Room, Mallrats, School Ties, Going All the Way, Dogma, and Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. That's right, you heard that right. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Is it a good movie? No, it is not. But he is the best part of the movie, and he's what makes that movie watchable. So, of course, I had to make an honorable mention because he's great in it. Anyway, it didn't make the top 10 list, so don't worry. So, yeah, it didn't make the top 10 list, but what did make my top 10 was my number 10. My number 10 is last year's The Accountant. Now, this movie has no reason whatsoever to be a critical disaster. I wouldn't say disaster. It's like, what, 50% on Rotten Tomatoes? I disagree with that. I think this movie's so good. I think it is so underrated, so underappreciated. I love it. And The Accountant is so good. It's written and directed by Gavin O'Connor, who did Warrior, a better movie, but still, Gavin O'Connor is a great filmmaker, and I love this movie about this assassin who's also this accountant who has autism and stuff. It shows the realism of autism, but also shows a fascinating story about this character. Ben Affleck is so great in this movie. I love him. I love Anna Kendrick and John Lithgow. They're also really great in this movie. Also love John Bernthal. He is so great in this movie, and it does have a very obvious twist, but the movie's still good. It has lots of humor, great action scenes, and again, the story is interesting. I love it, and I find it very underrated. I don't know why it didn't do well critically, but I love it. Coming number 9 is Changing Lanes. Changing Lanes is Ben Affleck and Samuel Jackson. This is an interesting story. This is basically about two guys who get into a car accident, and basically one guy flees the accident and leaves one guy stranded, and when he does that, this guy misses a court date, and basically his life gets ruined. His life got all ruined because of a car accident stuff, and basically this guy wants to get his revenge on Ben Affleck. That's Samuel Jackson. He wants to get his revenge on Ben Affleck because Ben Affleck wasn't a good guy, and he basically left him hanging because Ben Affleck in this movie is kind of a rich, snobby asshole and stuff, and yeah, I love this movie. I think this is a fascinating, interesting idea for a movie, and I really liked it. I thought it was very edgy, I thought it was very engaging, and I thought both Samuel Jackson and Ben Affleck gave great performances. They were both pretty unlikable characters, but you can understand I understand the reasoning of both of these characters, and how the story ends between both of them is very well done. And I thought this was a very well crafted film, and I really enjoyed Changing Lanes. Another very overlooked movie, so if you haven't seen it yet, please check it out. It's a really well done movie. Coming number 8 is Hollywoodland. Hollywoodland, again, another movie, very underappreciated. A lot of people actually hate this movie. I do not. I actually really enjoy Hollywoodland. Even though it's like a bunch of different storylines, it's still very well done. It's got Diane Lane, Adrien Brody, and Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck's storyline is the best storyline. Adrien Brody's storyline takes place in another time period and stuff. He's basically an investigator investigating the murder of, Ben Affleck's character. And Ben Affleck's story is about his story, him as an actor and stuff, and his life and stuff, and his filmography, or his televisionography and stuff. And I forget the character Ben Affleck is playing. I'll leave the name right up there. He's the guy that played Superman in the TV show and stuff. So yeah, Ben Affleck was both Superman and Batman. Nice job. And Ben Affleck's story is the most fascinating story. I love the story of this actor and stuff, the downfall of this actor, what really happened to him, the mystery, the intrigue of his investigation and stuff, and yeah, and how he was always like typecasted and stuff, and no one took him seriously as an actor. He was originally supposed to be in the movie From Here to Eternity, but Frank Sinatra got the role because they always thought he was more talented and stuff. He was always known as Superman and stuff, and he hated it. He hated it so much and stuff, and I always found his story more interesting. I loved Ben Affleck's performance in the film. I did like Adrien Brody's story. He was really good, but Ben Affleck was he was the show stealer in this movie. In the movie itself, some people may not like it, but I found it very fascinating, and I always find it very intriguing and thought-provoking. I always find something new every time I watch it. I've watched this movie 4 times, and I've always found something different every time I watch it. So yeah, if you've seen it and you didn't like it, go check it out again. You might find something interesting and fascinating watching it a second time. My number 7 is Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy is hands down my favorite Kevin Smith movie. I absolutely love this movie. It's not only funny, romantic, deep, and very dramatic and very heartbreaking. It tackles a real issue about homosexuality. Basically, this movie is about Ben Affleck's character, and basically he falls in love with a lesbian, who's played by Joey Lauren Adams, who's fantastic in this movie, and basically she's questioning if she really is gay, because she's gay, but she falls in love with Ben Affleck's character, and she doesn't know if she really is gay because she is in love with a man and stuff. And then you got Ben Affleck's buddy, Banky, played by Jason Lee, and he doesn't believe in homosexuality. He doesn't believe gay is a thing and stuff. He thinks gay people is wrong and stuff, but then he finds out he himself is gay and stuff, and he is in love with Ben Affleck and stuff. And it's an interesting story. It's very funny because it's Kevin Smith, but it's also very deep and meaningful and very ahead of its time, because a lot of movies in the 90s, when they did like gay movies, they all played it for laughs and stuff. This one is funny, but it's not making fun of gay people. It's actually making fun of the people who are making fun of gay people and stuff, and it tackles the story in a mature way, in a very deep and very meaning way, and I really enjoyed this movie. I thought Ben Affleck and Joey Lauren Adams were both great, and they had great chemistry with each other. I thought Jason Lee was also fantastic, and I love Janet and Silent Bob have a scene, and their scene's obviously great. And yeah, Chasing Amy, hands down my favorite Kevin Smith movie, and one of my favorite Ben Affleck movies. Coming number 6 is Dazed and Confused. Dazed and Confused is one of my favorite comedies. It's one of the best teen movies. It's one of my favorite Richard Linklater movies. No, it's no Before trilogy or it's no Boyhood, but it's still amazing. It's Dazed and Confused. It's so good. Alright, Matthew McConaughey, y'all. It's the best thing about these high school girls. I keep getting old, I still the same age. Alright. But I'm not here to talk about Matthew McConaughey. I'm here to talk about Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck in this movie is such an asshole, but he's such a memorable asshole in this movie. I love him. The movie itself is fantastic. It's a great comedy. It's a great high school movie. It's a great stoner movie, but I love Ben Affleck as O'Banion. O'Banion is a prick. He's basically the bully in this movie who basically is so stupid he failed a grade and stuff, and basically he's running around finding all the freshmen and beating their asses with paddles. And he is so determined to beat this one kid, he's willing to stalk him in his house and everything. He's just a psycho in this movie. He is the most ridiculous and scariest bully in a movie. Like, if I went to school with a bully like O'Banion, I'd be fucking terrified. And Ben Affleck does an amazing job. He does such a good job in this movie. I love what they do with O'Banion near the end of the movie. It is so freaking funny, and I love him. He is so great in this movie. The movie itself is amazing, but Ben Affleck is this bully asshole character. It's just so great. It's so great. Coming number 5 is State of Play. State of Play is such an underappreciated film. If you haven't seen this, please check it out. It is so well directed. It is so very taut and very thought-provoking and very clever too. Like, some people find it kind of boring and generic, a very throwaway thriller. I strongly disagree. I think Russell Crowe, Ben Affleck, and Rachel McAdams are all really solid in this movie, and it has an intriguing mystery. Even though you do know the mystery, you know it's kind of obvious, the twist, but how they lay it out is interesting and stuff, and how these characters interact with each other. That's what makes this movie interesting. How it's written and paced is interesting and stuff, and again, the performances are really good. I don't want to spoil anything, so please go check it out. It is a very well-directed film, and it is a very intriguing mystery movie, and I absolutely love it. Coming in number 4 is Argo. Yes, Argo, fuck yourself. I love Argo. Argo's amazing, yes. Gone Baby Gone is not on this list because he wrote and directed it, but he doesn't act in the movie. He has to actually be in the movie for it to count on the top 10 list, so... But don't worry, Argo's on this, and he plays in this movie as Agent Tony Mendez, and this is such a good movie. It won Best Picture, very well deserved, it's so amazing. I love the story of these CIA agents basically trying to get these American people out of Tehran back into the United States, and they have to pretend they're this Canadian film crew to smuggle them out of Tehran and stuff, and it is a true story, and it is a very gripping story. Yes, there is, there's some inaccuracies inaccuracies with the movie, especially what they do with the Canadians and stuff, but I don't care, the movie's still really great. It's a very well directed film, very well executed film. Ben Affleck and the entire supporting cast is great in this movie. I love John Goodman as John Chambers. I love Alan Arkin in this movie. He's so great. It means Argo, fuck yourself. Keep that space bitch away from me. Such a great movie, very intense movie, and I love it. Coming number 3 is Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting, everyone's like, whoa, 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 this is not number 1. What's happening? It's not number 1 because even though this is one of my favorite movies of all time, this is a Ben Affleck list. The movie counts, but he himself has to count as well. So I combine the two, his performance and the movie itself. I have to combine the two, and this is not his movie. This is Matt Damon's movie. This is like Robin Williams' movie. They are like the show stealers in the film. Robin Williams and Matt Damon. And of course Gus Van Sant, because it's like the only good Gus Van Sant movie and stuff, and it's a great film. I love Good Will Hunting. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I love Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is great. Even though he is a strictly supporting role, he is really good as Chucky. He is Matt Damon, Will Hunting. He's Will's best friend. And he's a great best friend. He's kind of a cocky asshole, but he's a very loyal best friend. And he does help Matt Damon at the end. The only reason Matt Damon, goes away at the end is because Chucky is the one that convinces him. He's the one that wants him to have a better life. Because Chucky himself knows that he's not a smart guy, and he would give anything to be as smart as Will. And he's the one that convinces Will to get the happy ending at the end. It's all because of Chucky. Yes, it's, of course, Sean, Robin Williams' character, is one of the reasons why too, and Stellan Skarsgård, but he's the push. Chucky's the push. He's the one that pushes Matt Damon at the ending to get the good ending and stuff, and I love this movie. It's a brilliant movie. It's one of the best written films I've ever seen. It's written by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, and I love it. Everyone knows Good Will Hunting is one of my favorite movies, so of course it's on this list. Coming number 2 is Gone Girl. Yes, Gone Girl is directed by David fucking Fincher. David Fincher, one of my favorite directors. I love David Fincher. This is one of my favorites. Gone Girl is such a great film. It's a great movie about the media and about, society and stuff, and also about careful who you marry, because she may be a sociopath. And it's a great movie. It's based off a great novel by Gillian Flynn, and it's an amazing film. It's an amazingly well-written film, also written by Gillian Flynn and directed by David Fincher. It's got sensational performances, not only by Ben Affleck, but also got like Rosamund Pike, who's so great. She should have won the Oscar. Julianne Moore was great in Still Alice, but Rosamund Pike was fantastic. Neil Patrick Harris was also great. Carrie Coon was great. And this movie has a good performance out of Tyler Perry. That is something you need to see to believe. The movie itself is so great. It's 2.5 hours, but it is so engaging and thrilling. The 2.5 hours fly by so fast. It is such a fantastic film. One of the best performances Ben Affleck gives in a movie, and the movie itself is just brilliant. My number 1 favorite Ben Affleck movie is, of course, The Town. The Town is my favorite. He wrote, directed, and starred in this movie, and he is so freaking great. He plays the character Dougie. He is a bank robber. And basically, he has the help of Jerry Renner and his whole crew, and they rob banks. And they rob banks in such a smart and very unique way. And it all takes place in Charlestown, hence why it's called The Town. It takes place in Charlestown. And it's a great movie. It's also about them, robbing a bank. They took a bank manager hostage. Ben Affleck basically has to stalk the manager in case she, rats them out and stuff. He ends up falling in love with her, and then shit gets even more sour. It is such a great film. It is not only well written, well directed, very intense, super well acted. Ben Affleck is amazing. Jeremy Renner is amazing. Rebecca Hall, John Hamm. Everyone is amazing, but the story is so well done. The characters are so well written characters. They're such fleshed out, enjoyable, very realistic characters. Even Blake Lively is great in this movie, and she's an awful actress, but she's so good in this movie. No one gives a bad performance. Even the small role of Chris Cooper is such a memorable scene. Everything about The Town is amazing, and of course, I love bank robbing movies, and every bank robbing scene is just so amazing. It's so original. Like, how they do the bank robbing scenes is just so well directed, and yeah, everything about The Town is just absolutely amazing, and it's hands down my favorite Ben Affleck movie. So yeah, that was my top 10 favorite Ben Affleck movies. So in the comment section below, please tell me, what are your top 10 favorite Ben Affleck movies? Comment below, let me know. And as always for this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.